Welcome to this video presentation from Dairyco and its Breeding Plus services on a guide to herd genetics reports. The video is just short in length but aims to give information on the content and structure of the herd genetic report. It will also give information on how you can register for herd genetic reports as well as the login process as well. Dairyco has a standalone breeding website here at dairycobreeding.org.uk. The website gives general information surrounding breeding and genetics and also gives some latest information on bull evaluations, which can be accessed both from this link here as well as on the breed selector on the right hand side. To register for herd genetic reports, we do have some information held on the website. And all we require as an organisation are for you to email us at breeding.evaluations@dairyco.org.uk with your name, address and milk recording number. We'll then send you login details via email within 2 working days, and you can then come and access your herd genetic reports via the login box on this page. If you are a third party, such as a contractor for a particular herd and farm, then we can also provide this to you once we have received an authorization, signed authorization form, which can be supplied to you for filling out by the same email address here at breeding.evaluations@dairyco.org.uk. So just to reiterate, please email us to register. Once you have your details, you can come through here to the herd genetic reports login section and log in. Once you log in, the page will refresh and you will be presented with a page with a breed of your particular herd, and obviously if you have multiple breeds within your herd, these will be displayed on here as well. I'll now pass over to my colleague Andrew Dodd, who is Dairyco's Technical Extension Officer for Breeding and Genetics, who will explain the structure and information contained within your herd genetic report.
So as Gareth's just said, you can click on here whether you've got Holsteins or Jerseys or the breed within your herd. As here we have a Holstein herd. If you just click on this, it will take you through to the main page. Okay, so the first thing you'll see is the actual genetic herd report summary. From this you can see it's based on lactations. So your herd or your cows will appear on the report once they've had 3 milk recordings. And then along the bottom you can see the overall averages for the herd. It's quite an easy way and quick way to see where your herd is achieving good genetic potential or where there's good genetic potential, but it also highlights areas where improvement can be made. If you scan down on this page, you then have a Holstein herd standards table. The yellow boxes would be your herd. So it's based on percentile. So at the top here would be the top 1% of PLI herds in the UK, all the way down to the bottom 95% of PLI herds in the UK. And you can quite clearly see from the report the farm in question is doing very well on milk, well on milk, fat and protein. Cell count is quite reasonable, but there is a certain area for improvement with fertility index and also potentially for the fat and protein percentage. Although this may not, this is on a liquid contract, if you are struggling to meet minimum requirements on fat and protein, this may be a possible area for improvement. But as with all genetics, it's going to take up to at least 5 years before you start to see the benefit of that, and probably nearer 10 before you get throughout the herd. So as with any genetics, it's a long-term improvement program. And then if you scan down to the bottom, you can see your herd based against the national trends and national averages. So on this, your herd would be the black herd. Red is national trends, and green are herds with over 100 cows. So if you then scroll back up to the top of the page, you can see here, this will click you through. So if you click on this box here, view complete report, this takes you through to the individual cow report. As you can see, this herd's actually quite a large herd. So at the moment, they're just displaying on one page, and I'll leave it like this for this purpose, but you can actually click here to view all pages, which will bring all your cows onto one page. So the initial view is based on PLI order. So this is the top cow here. And as you work across the top, you can see there is dam and sire details, there is inbreeding level of the individual cows, what lactation they're in, reliability, milk, fat, proteins, lifespan, cell count, fertility. These red arrows that you can see across the top, if you click on these, the down arrow, as shown on the screen, will be the highest order to the top. So if we use fertility as the first example, if you click the down arrow, this will re-rank the cows based on the highest fertility index cows in the herd. So as you can see here, cow number 598 has a fertility index of 5.9. This is very good. With all traits, you want them positive except for cell count. Cell count is the only trait that you wish to be negative. So you can do exactly the same for all these traits, which will give you a good indication of the areas that you need to look at when selecting bulls, the areas that need improvement. One of the other main areas on the page is also the inbreeding level. So clicking the down arrow again will allow you to bring all inbred cows to the top of the list. In the UK, the recommendation would be for inbreeding levels to go no higher, or have an inbreeding level of no higher than 6.25%. So you can see here this herd is pretty good. There are several cows here that are very borderline. In some herds you may find you've got no cows. In other herds you can find you actually got quite a lot of inbred cows, up 20-30% in some cases, when they've been mated very closely to relatives. The main reason for this report, the main advantage of this report, actually allows you to know or have an understanding of what the inbreeding level is within your herd. If you don't actually use the report, then you never get to realise what that level is. So the report's there as a functional tool for you to be able to understand what your herd is, the genetic potential of your herd. I'm just going to return back to the herd genetic report summary on the previous page. The advantage of this area here now is the overall summary on your lactation averages. This allows you to then select or correctively breed for the deficient traits within your herd. It allows you to maintain the milk, fat and protein to see the levels you're at, to ensure the bulls at least match what these have, but also then to breed to improve fertility. So you can see the areas that you very need to improve. So as an example, within this herd, you would need to breed to at least +1 on fertility to return the average to 0. But as you can see, further up, actually looking at the first and second lactation animals, they're at -2 and -2.4. We would recommend that you'd actually be breeding more to +2.4 or +3 on fertility to return to at least a normal. On the other side, you've got cows in the first lactation that were at -6 on cell count. You would want to maintain that with -6.